A sunny day in Boston, Greg and Lisa venture out on a calm morning walk with their dog.
What a nice day to walk our dog. 'Tis a clear day, there is no fog. The sun is shining up above. I'm glad you're walking with me, Lisa, my love.
The dog is walking, his puppy ears bringing joy as they dance around.
Oh joy! I can feel grass beneath my little paws. I'm so happy to be alive today!
I'm so happy.
I'm so happy, I'm so happy.
I'm so happy
Today!
Meanwhile, a mysterious creature polluted the air of the city, a sound distracting everyone on the street. Suddenly, everything stops and... What is the opposite of a feast? Being eaten by a beast.
Revenge, retaliation, vengeance, eye for an eye. I will seek revenge and will not cry.
Our puppy is dead. I think I'm going to cry. Greg, what shall we do?
What has happened here? It is unexplainable. We flee now, Lisa.
As they flee, they come across a mad scientist having a nervous breakdown. Oh, God. He was mumbling to himself quietly when Greg and Princess Lisa walked up. Princess Lisa looked around to see destruction everywhere. There were several crashed cars in the street, some upside down. People covered the streets, smoke rose from the crushed transmissions into the quickly polluting sky. Turning around, Lisa noticed the dark and dreary shack of which the scientists seemed to live in. Lisa focused her attention back to the mad scientist as he began to speak.
I have created a monster. It's long, wiggly, and pink. It has been unleashed. The situation really stinks. What destruction have you caused? A loved one I have lost. Now what have you released in a city like this, you won't be pleased. This is a catastrophe. Fire, destruction, and death, my world will leave this town a mess.
The scientists sent Greg and Princess Lisa on a mission quest of revenge and saving the world. Or at least Boston anyways. First, the scientists sent Greg and Princess Lisa to talk to Sean. He has fought in many wars and is a well-trained weapons specialist.
You will meet him at the edge of town where all the parties go down. Eat, talk, and laugh all night. This place called the Fright.
Greg and Lisa leave well-equipped with food, clothes, and even their RV. They traveled 20 miles to the dark and rusty edge of town, arriving at the Fright. The place was built of tattered and worn bricks and beaten to the floor with broken windows at every corner. It was rather dark inside the Fright, but there was enough light to see a few faces. Greg and Lisa uncomfortably wandered further into the Fright after a few seconds of their eyes adjusting to the dim light and the smoke-filled room. Greg and Lisa begin to search the room.
Where shall this guy be? He will be sitting at the end of the long bar.
I am looking but cannot see him anywhere. I have spotted him.
Lisa spotted Sean at the abandoned end of the long bar, sitting by himself. As Greg and Lisa approach Sean, all they see is him with a pistol in his holster and a machine gun around his shoulder.
We're here to see Sean. Aren't you the guy from the dog? We have worm troubles.
Worms, eh? I got your back. I eat worms for breakfast. Worms love to hide in subway tunnels. Your names?
You can call me Greg. This is my lady, Lisa. That worm ate our dog.
Dog, canine, hooch, puppy. This worm has eaten our doggy.
She's a little slow.
I don't think that hurt it. Sean thought about all the possible tunnels the worm could be populating and narrowed it down to a few promising tunnels. After searching every tunnel but the one on Jeffrey Street, they were about to give up when Sean remembered that there was an abandoned tunnel. Lisa, Greg, and Sean voyaged into the depths of the tunnel. They traveled blindly in the dark, leaving the navigating to Sean. Sean had never been in this tunnel before because of a few stories he had heard, but now was a good time as ever to prove himself in the art of worm hunting. He had 2 people counting on him to find this worm. They made their way through the dark tunnel and around each corner safely. Sean began to notice a peculiar scent.
Stinky, odorous, smelly, and gross. It smells like worm poop, so we must be getting close.
Lisa was getting tired and couldn't handle the dark much longer. As she started complaining, Greg and Sean had realized that they had been walking for quite a while. Greg, Lisa, and Sean stopped to rest after several minutes of walking in the dark. They found a corner in which they could sit. Greg and Sean began conversing about all the different strategies they were going to use to catch the worm. With neither Sean nor Greg paying attention, Lisa heard the worm getting closer. As it came closer to the trio, Lisa began shaking and screaming, trying to get Sean and Greg's attention.
Oh no, there's a worm. It is going to eat me. Somebody help me.
As soon as Lisa started crying out for help, Greg whipped his head around to see the worm heading toward Lisa. As his heart began to pound, he took immediate action. Greg leapt forward, grabbing after Lisa before the worm could eat her.
No!
Greg, you were supposed to speak.
Lisa! Lisa, get away, worm! I will save you, baby! Prepare for my wrath, worm! Goodbye!
Lisa screams, and in despite of all Greg's efforts, the worm stifles the sound, engulfing her body in its acidic stomach. Sean turns around to see Greg sprinting after Lisa's corpse, not thinking that the hungry worm may devour him as well. Greg disappears into the vast emptiness of the worm. Sean reaches for his gun and points it at the worm. Right before he pulls the trigger,
Wait, don't shoot yet. There's something you need to know. I am your father.